to get an education or to go to a university, and with the idea that that's going to be the shortcut, right? That's what gets sold to people, is this shortcut idea that, okay, if you go to a university, when you get out, then you're going to be able to be put somewhere in the middle of the pyramid, somewhere in the middle of the Jordan Peterson's dominance hierarchy, for lack of a better explanation. But if you don't go, then you have to start at the very, very bottom. Now, that, of course, the idea is that, oh, well, if I go to school, I go get I go to the 4-year drinking contest or something, and I have a giant bar tab at the end of that, then I'm going to start off in the middle somewhere. And more and more people they're finding out they're being disillusioned that that was not the case. Just as a Gen Xer, I heard probably 100 times, dude, Axel, just go get a degree in anything, and a company will pay you to, sit in a corner office and do whatever, work that you're, whatever they want you to do. And that's just not the case. More and more people, what is it, 37.7%, I looked at it the other day, of people in America have degrees. Well, that would mean that all of those 37.7% should be making, top tier money, right? But they're not. And in fact, we see it. I'm sure you've seen it too. You have the same internet I have, and you see what it looks like. You see these jobs that are paying, we're paying $15 an hour, and you need to have 4-year degree, and you need to have like 9 years of experience, and on and on. All this like weird fantasy land. It's like reading. It's like reading the text version of some of these girls that want their men to be 6 foot tall and make $600,000 a day, and it's like you guys are just, this is just stupid. Like, where are you getting these numbers from? And that's just it. And it's this raising a bar of these impossible standards that these, and it's an excuse to say, okay, well, we're gonna pay less in terms of dollars, because you'll know that I don't blame capitalism for any of this. I think largely because no one living today has ever seen an honest currency. I don't think anybody alive today has never experienced anything like with with an honest currency wherein you have to pay for something at the cash price, and there's not endless amounts of credit being issued. And by cash price, I don't mean dollars. Just for anybody lest anybody take my words as meaning like paper dollars. I don't mean cash in that sense. I mean cash as in no debt attached to that transaction. In other words, that transaction is final. That if I paid you, for instance, if you want to buy my Jeep, not going to happen. But if you wanted to buy my Jeep, and I wanted, 0.5 Bitcoin for it, right? That's the cash price. That's it. The transaction is done. There's no more debt attached to that. You don't owe me anything, and I don't owe you anything. After the transaction is over with, we're going our separate ways. And when we have an economy like that, these things can't really happen as easily. These wild speculations and these wild distortions in the marketplace, wherein it tells people, to go get a degree in whatever, and it doesn't make any difference what degree it is anymore. Like personally, I don't think it makes any difference. I think I think there's going to be an influx, by the way, a flooding of STEM. Believe it or not, I think that's coming because so many young people now, the younger people, your younger Zoomers now, who all saw what a lot of millennials did, and a good chunk of Gen X, right? Who in the right mind would say, okay, I'm going to go get a degree, so I'm going to take the hardest possible. I'm going to go take astrophysics. Like, dude, no one's going to do that. They're going to take the easiest classes they can get away with because they're just after a degree. They were just told go get any degree, and then we find out that all those degrees are worthless. So now we're going to have this huge flood into STEM. This is the next shoe to drop, as far as I'm concerned. Because what happens if we have engineers? What if we do graduate, another million engineers in 2 years? What are they going to do? What are we engineering? How does the market need 1 million engineers? Probably not. So then those jobs end up becoming, they by default end up becoming lower wage jobs. Because by virtue of the market's flooded, and on top of that, the saddest thing is that now you have a bunch of people who've got a shit ton of debt that they can never fucking pay back. I just read my I just ran into this anecdotally. A young man that was a friend of my son, good friend of my son's. He's working on his fourth doctorate. His fourth doctorate. What the fuck is he going to do? I can't even imagine how much he owes now. It's probably $500,000, or more. You're never going to pay that back. That's just I just don't even know what to say
Does he realize this?
You got me, man. I when I heard fourth doctorate, my mind just kind of shut down, because I was sitting there thinking, what in the world are you going to do with 4 doctorates? And even if you could find something, right, would it